We'll call it euthanasia or call it medical aid in dying. Soon Quebec may allow it under strict rules. The government is drafting the law, but today fresh opposition to the plan, this time coming from doctors. Morgan Dunlop has that story.
The man known as the father of palliative care has strong opinions on how we should die.
Physician-assisted suicide makes it necessary for a society to legalize killing.
He's one of 500 doctors who've signed a declaration against proposed changes to legislation around death and dying. In March 2012, a landmark report recommended doctors be allowed to help some terminally ill patients die. And in January, Quebec announced it would proceed with so-called dying with dignity legislation. Laurence Brunel-Côté is pleased with the decision. She has a degenerative disease that attacks her nervous system. It would reassure me to know that when I reach that point, I can choose how my life will end. But this advocate for people with disabilities says the legislation could lead to prejudice.
The issues that come up most, loss of ability to do things, the loss of independence, loss of autonomy, those are disability issues, and it gives the message that the lives of people with disabilities are less worth fighting for.
On the other side of the debate, this doctor stands against some of his peers.
Physician-assisted dying concerns precisely those 2, 3, 4% of patients whose end of life is intolerable in spite of the best medical care.
But this doctor says changes to benefit a few could have widespread negative effects.
In December, there were 40-year-old twins in Belgium who were deaf from birth and were starting to lose their sight. And they thought that it was too much for them to become deaf and blind, but they were even far from being blind. And they asked for euthanasia, and they got it. I think that's horrifying.
Ferrier says the group will continue to push the province to abandon its plan, starting with a march in Quebec City next Saturday. She says right now in Quebec, only 30% of people who need it have access to palliative care. She wants to see the province improve those numbers instead. Morgan Dunlop, CBC News, Montreal.